Friday?
Yeah, so Swiss was pretty interesting, and I think we can all agree we saw some results we definitely didn't expect. One thing that shocked me straight off the bat was that Netherland Americanada, however you say it, sweeping Lumen. I think that's such a crazy statement to come out because as someone who's played Lumen and also their track record against other teams kind of in that 17-24 area or like top maybe 9-16 as well, like they don't really get upset. They don't really lose to teams like that. So not only do they upset them, but they sweep them. And then we see Lumen, who were just at the major, not even make top 8, which to me was a big shock. And then obviously, you know, big elephant in the room, Snowmen coming out 3-0 and then beating GenG. And then we also saw a little bit more of them today. We'll get into that later. But I think what I was most impressed with Snowman's 3-0, and I was very surprised to see Lumen not making it in.
Yeah, I agree. I think my big things for the day was on Friday was Snowmen. I didn't think they would be able to keep it rolling, and then I saw they got Cloud9, and I was like, damn, they're going to be favored, and this might set themselves up for the major. But yeah, they ended up beating GenG. I thought that was a shock. I think something for me that a lot of people were talking about in chat was the whole Chrome thing. They brought in Chrome, and then they lose to Snowmen, which, you know, people are like, okay, they shouldn't lose that. Then they lose to OG, and then people are like, oh, they shouldn't lose that. But then they bounce back, taking down LG to get in. I don't think Chrome, we talked about this on Thursday, but like Reed said, Chrome, they're not like, there's no way they're going to get worse because of Chrome. Like, he's bringing them like another aspect, I guess, of the game, Reed, right?
Yeah, I mean, Chrome's had a good history, but I think the thing that I just don't know is I feel like all three of the players on GenG are very smart. So I don't know if they need a coach to tell them how to play, more so a coach to like reiterate stuff that they want to work on. Yeah. So I just don't know. Like, I can't speak on what Chrome's role is, but I think, again, I don't know. Every team's allowed to have an off tournament. We can't just expect them to 3-0 everything. It's just not human to be perfect all the time. Like G2, even G2, I think went to OT in their first series versus like old Cloverity, which, let's be honest, if like that should not be a thing. Like those should be like 4-0 every game. Yeah. So it's just not realistic. But as long they clutched it up, and that's all that matters. You know, it shows good mental resilience, and maybe Chrome helps with that too. Getting the mental back. Great, you know.
What did you think? What did you guys think of LG not making? I guess LG, NRG, TSM. Not making top 8. I guess Moist as well, because they've made a bunch of top 8s. What was your guys' thoughts on that? Any of those were like, what the fuck?
I mean, like Lumen, like I said before, I mean, that one was super shocking, especially just, I think them getting swept straight off the get-go was not great. Energy, I kind of felt for them at least heading into it when they had to play with Fireburner, but they started to bounce back a little bit, and then they kind of like, I thought they were going to beat Cloud9. That was a pleasant surprise because I like the Cloud9 guys, but I really thought Energy was going to have that one. As much as I hate to admit it, TSM, I feel like that 9th through 11th range is like, it's very tough for them to get out of it, and especially getting that draw. Yeah, and getting that draw with M80. Like, M80 is a very solid team. You know, we called them like the Swiss merchants. They went to round 5, which is a little surprising to me. But, you know, they end up getting the job done. I think the only one that was really shocking to me was Lumen, and then Moist was a little shocking, but they did have some tough matchups, so I will give them kind of a bit of a break there.
Yeah, I don't know. Swiss was super weird. Like, LG, I know we already talked about it, but I always give props for LG for being a super, like, professional team with, like, a good structure where they don't lose to teams you don't expect. Yeah. But like I said with GenG, like, everybody has an off weekend. So, I mean, that fucked them because I was looking at, like, if they just took a game or two, I think their matchup is not GenG in round 5 and someone completely different.
Yeah.
So it's insane to think about how different, like, your day can be with literally a couple games changed. But yeah, Moist, I'm gonna be real. They did not look how I thought they were. They did not look great. And I thought I was pretty high on that team, but I don't know, maybe Achieves left and shit has changed. But LG I definitely expected, and then I had Energy over Cloud9. Energy had to deal with some difficult circumstances that really sucks. But they still brought it back. I mean, again, 9th through 12th, we saw OG get like last and then still make the major. So there's good news and there's bad news. You're not doing where you want to be, but it doesn't mean you're out. So a lot of teams did well.
Realistically, what are these teams going to need? If you got like a 9th, because I know a lot of people are curious and they're asking me today, like, can LG still get in? Can NRG? What are these teams that finished in this 9th through 11 range realistically need? Like a grand final and then a top 4?
Nah. If you get 9th, I mean, it bases a lot off other teams, obviously, because now you have to do well, but you also have to hope teams in front of you fuck up as well. But if you're like an Energy or LG, you're gonna need at least 2 top 4s probably.
Yeah.
And then most likely a grand final, because I would guess the third team in the running is probably like gonna have a good amount of points as well. So there might not even be 2 spots up for grabs, because I'm kind of considering G2 and GenG, and I think that's pretty safe.
Yeah.
But yeah, there might not be 2 spots up for grabs. So if there is 1 spot, you're gonna have to definitely top 4s at least, if not a grand final. So obviously bracket plays into that, but it's still pretty good because you still have control of your destiny, but you've made it very hard on yourself because you have to perform very hot.
I mean, I think one thing you can think about as well is, I mean, we saw it in the last split. OG literally got dead last in that first regional, almost went dead last in the second one, and then had to reverse sweep the Swiss. Like, even if getting a 15th to 16th, OG still made the major. So I think Lumen getting that 9th or 11th, yes, it sucks. Yes, it's not how you want to start your split, but that's a lot better of a position to be than dead last trying to make it. I think it very much depends on who's in front of them and how they do. But I don't think this is the worst spot in the world to be in. And I think if Lumen kind of bounce back to, the shape they were in that first split, maybe even the major split or major Lumen, they'll be okay. But it's definitely tough.
There's like something we also have to consider is OG and LG made it, and specifically OG got last in the first regional. But if anyone remembers the first regional, Shopify got top 4, and then something crazy happened that opened the door, which is them missing the regional.
Yeah, that is true.
So like if no one misses the regional, then it becomes even tougher, because Shopify basically lost. Basically, a spot got up for grabs for free just because Shopify didn't make the regional. So if that doesn't happen this time, then you honestly might need 2 top 2s, or like top 4 to top 2 with like perfect results from other teams, So
I mean, a team like Dig is completely fucked, basically what you're saying.
Yeah, it's pretty tough if you're Dig. You basically need like 2
You miss out on a regional, you're pretty screwed.
I think screwed.
I think with these regionals as well, though, like one thing I want to mention is like a team like Snowmen, who a lot of people are maybe putting like NA12, 13, 14 that are now making splashes in this top 4. Like, I think quals are just going to continue to get harder and harder. And I wouldn't be surprised if we see one of those top 12 teams with an org miss out again. I don't think it'll be Dig again, but I mean, all it takes is one upset to completely fuck up a lower bracket.
Oh, 100%.
So, I mean, I'm kind of excited to see how the quals end up playing out, as long as I'm not caught in the crossfire,
All right, let's jump into our top 8 Saturday matchups. We'll go in order from the way the series happened today. We had G2 coming out playing against M80, and as we can see, we get a 4-0 and almost damn near a perfect sweep. To me, this series, I don't know if this is M80 getting like full on like a reality check, because they had obviously easier brackets in the whole last online where they played Shopify, and I'm not saying those are easy teams, but compared to G2 and GenG, right? Those are the 2 you're trying to avoid. They got to play Shopify, OG, and then TSM. They lost all 3 of those in their top 8. And people were saying, oh, they're just Switch merchants. Well, now they have to play G2, and they get completely fucking obliterated, where honestly, it was one of the worst series I've seen them play, and they had no boost. They couldn't get on offense at all. They scored 1 goal the whole time. Why is that? What's going wrong with these guys?
I'm not gonna lie. I was like kind of watching that series. I was in free play, just like chilling. But that series was actually probably the most one-sided series I've seen like this season yet. Like,
oh my
online.
God, yeah.
That was. I mean, I got to play that team tomorrow, but we're not M80, so I'm not like really too worried about that happening.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I think like you could just tell that like M80 was afraid like of G2, and then G2 like kind of like smelled blood and just literally started freestyling a little bit on them.
Yeah.
But that was, I don't know. G2 is obviously the best team in NA, but at the same time, like I don't feel like this is a hot take. I don't even think M80 like looked like they even put up a fight. Like that was not really competitive. It was insane. Because that could be a high flying matchup. Like M80 has got the mechanical players. They didn't have it. They didn't have the confidence against them.
Yeah, I just felt like this isn't the M80 that we're normally seeing. I don't know exactly what it was, but I feel like all 3 of the players. I don't know why. I feel like every time I was watching, I'd see Nas get like missed touches or, and I feel like Nas is one of those like really big impact players as well that I would normally see. And I think all three of them really kind of were just underwhelming. Like you said, they almost seemed like they were scared, just kind of stuck in their half the whole time. I mean, it was just G2 series. They walked on over them. And you even said, like, and I completely agree, it almost looked like they were freestyling at some point. Almost like they were pre-jumping each other, just going back.
Bro, I saw Beast Mode go for like a 360 shot in open net when they were up like early.
Yeah, that's nuts. So,
I do think this G2 team though looked pretty fucking good, like straight up. Like they were. I think it's a mix of them completely making them look bad, but I think this G2 team looks solid. Like they weren't. I don't know. What you don't think, Reed? What you were thinking?
No, they looked pretty fucking mid to me. I don't know.
So you think they looked? They looked. It was more so just M80 looking like shit.
No, they looked good, but like I'm gonna be real, bro. Every time, obviously G2 was affecting M80's play, but it felt like I feel like there's a problem when you constantly see G2 with the ball. Like at some point you got to start like controlling it and just be like, fuck it. Even if I can't beat them, it's like, okay, let me take a 50 and try and like not just give them possession. Because every time I legitimately would look over to the other monitor and watch a stream, it was like Atomic with free possession. Daniel, and again, that's like G2's place. Like that's what they want you to do. But at some point you got to like try and like even game 3, like after time, you're gonna be like, at least try it. Like if you try and control it and it goes bad, at least you can say like, we didn't just give up the fucking ball, you know? And it just, I don't know. I felt like the adjustments were not there. And G2 just got more and more comfortable at each game.
Blitz, why is the ceiling like not capable of being reached with this M80 team? Like I'm seeing like Nas is winning every ones tourney. This guy's like the way he plays in ones, you're like, dude, this guy's got it all. Like straight up. This guy's a Daniel like version in a way. But obviously in threes, it's just not translating for this whole team.
Honestly, Cap, I don't know, because I asked myself the same thing. I don't know what it is, but I rate all three of these players pretty highly. I rate Nas and Jory as a little bit higher than AJ, but I still think AJ is a very good player. Yeah. I think Nas especially, I think his intimidation and his ability in ones and twos is not quite translated in threes. Like, I don't think we quite see him take over. And obviously it's a lot easier in ones and twos, but like all these other like super high level ones players that are winning tourneys and stuff are like able to take over and do crazy things. And I don't think we've quite seen that from Nas yet. I don't know exactly what it is, but I feel like they have the firepower. I feel like they have that potential. I think especially like with G2, you can be like, it's G2, but they need to put up more of a fight than this, right? Like we can all agree G2 probably is one of, if not the best teams in NA, let alone the world. But you just can't get swept like this. Scoring one goal, that's not acceptable, especially if your goal is going to be to get top 4.
Yeah, I mean, if you even look at the stats, bro, we were saying, Reed, what was you said? You said that if you drop like a point, what'd you say is like average?
I think I don't think it one's average, right? It's like a 0.8 is average, or like a 0.7.
I think it's like around a 0.7 is average.
I think a 1 is like good. Everything above is like pretty fine. Like a 1.23 is insane.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, if you're getting swept, it's going to be really hard for anyone to drop anything above a 0.8, most likely.
Yeah, I mean, I think it just goes to show, like, it just felt like no one was creating. Every time M80 gets boost, it's to defend a play rather than trying to make a play. And you're just not going to win with that. Like, you have one goal in a best of 7. Your best guy is dropping 0.25 goals a game. Like, that's just not on offense, right? That's just not going to work. But yeah, so the next series we have was Snowmen taking on Cloud9. Flitz, what were your thoughts on this series, bro?
Now, this one is interesting because, like, this is probably the best matchup that Snowmen could have gotten, but they earned this, right? They beat GenG. They went 3-0. They definitely earned this matchup. And that's not to say Cloud9's a bad team by any means. And I was very interested because I feel like Snowmen's a very aggressive, mechanical team, where Cloud9's known to kind of sit back more. And I was very interested to see how it would pan out. And I felt like Frosty had an incredible series. He was all over the place. He was scoring left and right. Cloud9 did get that first game in a long-ass overtime, but then we saw Snowmen take 4 straight. And I was pretty impressed. And let me tell you, I know we're not quite there yet, but I'm excited to see Snowmen play GenG tomorrow because I really want to see how far they can make this run.
Is it me?
Take us
I'm
over.
going to be real. We were scrimming during this series. So, like, I had it on the second monitor, but I really, really wasn't paying attention. I will say, though, the goal, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, the goals did not look very good.
Yeah.
Like, it looked like every time I looked or saw the highlights, it kind of saw, like, balls were just rolling in, or just, like, it wasn't the best goals. But I could be wrong. I'm going to be honest.
No, you're not wrong at all. I mean, when I was watching this series, it felt like a very even series. and it felt like any of these teams could have pulled away with it. And then it was like the goals that would come in, it was like a demo.
Yeah.
And then it would open up space, and then, or like right here, Lion Blaze misses it, and then just like that, it's like this shifts momentum, and then they end up winning off, I believe it's right, yeah, it's right here. Reveal pops it up, and then just leaves it for his teammate. Scribbles just goes for a demo, and then it's just an open shot. It didn't feel like there was really many super creative solo plays, but I will say this, the one thing I did like about this Snowmen team is that they play super confident, all of them. Like, you see them popping the ball and going for things. They didn't score off it, but still, it's the fact that you're seeing these players, like, playing so damn confident. They're pre-jumping on defense. I don't know. They just look like they look like they've been here before, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, it just seems like the way, like, the new players, new mechanical players, like, rarely, like, get the nerves that people think they are. Like,
yeah.
If you go back to, like, Daniel's first event, or, like, anyone that's kind of had hype, even Zen, bro. Like, people are like, oh, they're probably going to be super nervous and, like, not be themselves. Like, I don't know. Something is just, they just probably feel confident in the moment. Like, maybe those huge egos, like, prepare them for that. So they just, like, are just nothing but confidence in their head. So can't go wrong if you're just feeling on top.
Yeah, I don't know where, I mean, Cloud9, they just signed this team. They make a top 8. Is this, like, Cloud9's, I guess, ceiling? Like, do you see them making more top 8s, or do you see them, like, potentially pushing up, or are they kind of just stuck in this area?
A good question. I feel like they have the potential to maybe sneak a top 4, but I feel like this area of like 5 to 8 is really where I see them. Like I said, like Snowmen, Cloud9, like that's a good matchup for both the teams. Like, you know, so I feel like if they were going to get a top 4, it would be someone against a team like this that's maybe not as experienced. I don't know though. At the same time, you know, we saw Cloud9 last split, you know, be really close with G2, but for me, I can't see Cloud9 as like a consistent or someone I'm really going to vote on and getting that top 4, but I could see them as like that 9 through 11th, 5 through 8, like kind of switching in between those two.
Yeah, I also think it's hard to like push players. I mean, if we're going off history, Lion Blaze typically is not grinding ranked 24, like not grinding ranked. Zenil grinds ranked. I'll say that. He's on the grind. And then as far as Percy doesn't play ranked. Like, you never see that guy playing ranked. I feel like if you really want to become I don't know, you see, like, every night you look, Frosty and Reveal and Scribbles, them are all playing ranked. They're all streaming. They're in a call. That's like they just constantly are pushing for more and more. And, I mean, you're seeing them make a top 4, which is pretty insane. So, yeah. You got any other thoughts on any of that stuff, or you guys want to move to the next?
Yeah, I mean, if you told me Cloud9 would make 3 top 8s to split, I would not be surprised, but I don't know. If, like, this kind of goes back to, like, M80 last split. If you're going to win and make a top 4, like, this is most likely going to be their best chance. Like, I think
100%.
Bro, because, like, they got 7 seed or something, and they got Snowmen. Like, Snowmen's not bad, but, bro, like, I think, like, we know that it's very likely one of the regionals you can pull a G2 GenG in the quarters. So it's like you really just, it comes down to capitalizing on your good quarters. So the fact that they didn't do that just kind of makes me lose confidence in a top 4 for the rest of the season. So yeah, I see them, like, I want top 8. I definitely think that team is worthy, but top 4, they just don't seem to have the edge to push them forward.
Do you think that Snowmen can consistently get a better seed than like a 6, 7, or 8 seed? Is that going to be consistent for them, like out of Swiss?
Well, I have no clue. I'm gonna be real. I've not scrimmed this team. I think we scrim them next week, Sad was telling us, but like I have no clue if they're actually like really good or if they're just kind of having a good weekend. So I think they could be like kind of a top 8 team now. I don't know.
So you're yeah. I mean, I'm curious.
I mean,
like,
at least with my history of playing this team, at least, because I played them both with my old team last split, been scrimming in this split. I feel like one thing and one reason that I think Snowmen are doing as well as they are now compared to last split is I think Scribbles has personally stepped it up a lot. I don't think he quite showed it in the Cloud9 series, but overall, I feel like he's really stepped up his game. I feel like Frosty and Reveal have always been 2 really solid players, but I thought for a little bit Scribbles was a little bit behind him, but I don't think that's the case anymore. And I think Scribbles stepping up has allowed them to get this good result. And I honestly think, I don't know if they'll be going 3-0 in Swiss every time, but I could very much see this team getting consistent top 8s. They're impressing people. They beat GenG, and although it wasn't like the smoothest one over Cloud9, that's another good, solid top 8 team that they just got a victory against. Once again, I'm super excited to see them tomorrow because I want to see that rematch. I want to see if they can do it again against GenG. But I don't think this is like some crazy fluke. I don't think they're going to get this result and then just like miss a regional or anything like that. I think Snowmen will be a more consistent team that we'll be seeing in Swiss for both regional 2 and 3.
No, I'm with it. Jumping into our third quarterfinal of the day, we had Shopify, two-piece Parth, Justin taking on GenG, who just lost to the major champs in top 8 at the major. And this series was a 4-0, and I don't know why, but this series low-key reminded me of the M80 series, just a little less dominant from the team that won.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. This was just a beatdown. Parth had an okay series. I wanted to see a little bit more from two-piece and Justin. We didn't really see that. Some nice shots coming up from Chronic and just all of GenG, but I mean, it just seemed like every game was in GenG's control. There was like one, maybe 2 good plays that Shopify made to get a goal. I think there's one in game 3 that I liked, but overall, it just was kind of the GenG show.
Yeah. Again, I don't think I think you'd be crazy to think GenG would play similar to how they played in Swiss, and play kind of not to their standard. But at the same time, I think everyone expected Shopify to show a little bit more fight because I think everyone knows they're kind of better. But I think the question with them, and like this is kind of their knock, is like nerves. I think when the big moment comes, like nerves kind of kill them. And like I don't think that GenG was this much better. I think GenG's obviously the better team, and like I expected them to win. But I think it's more so like people want Shopify. A lot of people probably had Shopify at least like 4-1, 4-2, and having close game. Mm-hmm. But I don't know if it's the nerves or if it's just they're GenG's, like Shopify and GenG just don't have a good matchup against each other. But I don't know. Shopify's got the talent to be a major team. It's just like, when do we see that pop off where they beat a really good team or just put it all together for a series? You're like, whoa, this team is gross.
Yeah. See, to me, it's like when I'm watching today, it's like it just felt like there was I don't even know how to describe it, but it just didn't look like the fellas were in sync. I mean, here we're gonna this just shouldn't be a double commit on defense here, and it's like there was like multiple goals that led to this, and they had no boost the whole time. It didn't feel like anyone was really like popping the ball, creating, and it gets to the point where your chat's starting to call people wash this and that, and I'm thinking like, are these guys just like? Why can they? Is it really the nerves is what's making them like not be able to click and get past that hump? Or is it individual? Is it like, I don't know.
Nerves do a lot to like, because nerves are the biggest killer. Because if someone's nervous, it can throw off a whole team, even if it's just one person. Because say someone's like, more of an aggressive player, and I've probably done this in the past myself, and you get nervous and they start playing a little bit more timid. That throws off like what you practiced the 2 weeks leading up to the regional. Like it becomes a different team where you're like, okay, this guy's not doing what he normally does, so this feels like uncomfortable, Yeah. So I don't know. It just doesn't seem like that is Shopify's like peak. I don't know. It's just I expect more out of them.
Do you think? So this offseason, there was rumored that, not the offseason, but in between the major, there was a rumor that they're trying out Andy and others in place of Justin. Mm-hmm. And then they clearly didn't. They're playing with him. Do you think that affects their team, or do you think they're kind of like, fuck it?
I think it varies from person to person, but I know me personally, like if I knew that my team was kind of trying to replace me, I think that's something that I would worry about. Like maybe not at this point in the season, like when I first transitioned back into him, like, okay. But I think it'd also be a wake-up call, like, all right, I need to lock the fuck in. I don't really know. I don't know if that has to do with what we saw today. And once again, I don't know how Justin would handle something like that. I don't know the guy. But I mean, I think it's definitely like it's definitely not going to help them, right? Like, trying to transition and scrim with different people and going back to what you had. I will say at the very least, they did do it very early. It seemed like they had a lot of time to make that decision. But it's definitely not something that's going to help your roster. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, I mean, GenG all dropped. If you look at the stats, guys, a 0.7 and above is pretty average in here. Is average for RLCS. So 2 guys on Shopify, if you look over here to the right, Justin and two-piece dropped 0.5s. Parth had a 1.2, but also, guys, stats don't mean everything, right? Like, someone might have high stats just because they're getting little weird goals and saves. It doesn't mean they had a great series. But everyone on GenG, I thought, what do we think of GenG? I guess we should say, because GenG, I thought Chronic had an incredible day. I thought he played good. He was creating solo plays. Holy mother of fuck! I'm not gonna sit here and be a broken record. But yeah, thank you so much, bro.
Holy fuck yeah!
If you want,
bro, you guys are freak.
You are a sick fucking dog, bro. I've said it all fucking day. You need help. But let's keep going with the quick chat. Yeah, I appreciate it, man. Thank you, brother. Thank you, man. But I thought Chronic had an incredible day. I thought Abjack played way better than he did in Swiss, even though I think he was harder on himself than he should have been. I mean, I don't know. I didn't get to watch all their series, but the way he was saying in the interview, it sounded like he thought he played bad in the Swiss. But I thought he played good in this, and then I thought First Killer was playing like First Killer, just solid.
Yeah. I mean, I agree. I think Jack was definitely a little bit hard on himself. That's kind of like his character. That's what he does. He takes blame. He's a good leader. But I completely agree with you. I thought Chronic looked great. I do think it was definitely a better Jack than what we saw on Friday. And, like you said as well, just it's First Killer, right? Like, how bad can he really be? I mean, statistically, he was the worst. But like you said, stats don't matter. It's First Killer, right? This was a good GenG. I don't think it was a great GenG, but I think it was a good GenG, much better than what we saw. And I think if they continue this trend of getting back to where they need to be, I think tomorrow will be definitely looking good for them.
All right, Reed, the final series of the day. We're gonna have you take this one over. You guys win 4-1. What were your thoughts, I guess, going into the series? How'd you feel about this matchup? And then obviously the result.
Yeah, if anyone's ever watched my stream or probably watched any pro stream, like, I'm the first advocate to say, like, scrims don't mean anything.
Yeah.
But our scrims this past week against OG, and probably we'll say 15 games, we might have won 2, like, this week. Like, we got fucking slammed every fucking day by them. Or not every day, but every time we played them, dude, we got absolutely slammed by them. But we know, like, scrims don't matter, it's just how you perform. So we had an idea of how they were going to play. But we thought, as like I think most teams think, if you play your style, that's what you should be most confident in. And game 1, we gave up a couple of really like early goals that probably weren't the greatest. I think one was a kickoff and some other stuff, just getting some of the jitters out. But I was really happy that we at least came back, because the fact that we came back, I think, gave us a lot of, even though we lost that game, it gave us a lot of momentum, because we're like, okay, we're finding our footing. Because if we just gave up, or if we didn't give up, but if we just kind of sat there and lost 2-0, like, it's a really rough start to the series. But we came back, and we know we could have taken an OT, so we were still very confident. And then I think the work we just been putting in kind of showed off towards the end. And that was, I think we all said as a team, that was our best series we've had since we formed. And again, stats don't really mean too much, because I thought all of us played our super equally. Everyone needed to did what exactly they needed to do in certain situations. Like, even if LJ's dropping a 0.7,
holy shit.
But it didn't feel that way, because LJ's scoring like gross goals like he normally does, where it's insane.
Like shot in game 2.
Yeah, so it's like you wouldn't guess that LJ's a 0.7. That, honestly, if I had to guess, I would have guessed like everyone had an equal rating. But Hawkster's been playing like insane this weekend. This is probably the best I've seen him since
he's on Finnick now.
With him. Yeah, he asked during the week. He said, messaged me at maybe 1 a.m. on Tuesday, and he's like, "Do I have your blessing to play Fennec?" And of course, I was like, "Bro, I want you to play with that, whatever you want, like whatever you're most confident in."
Yeah.
And bro, he hit that one shot with the reset off the backboard that was actually disgusting.
Yeah.
But yeah, you could just tell like everything we're doing, we're all super confident in each other and like what we're trying to achieve. So it's just, again, it feels good finally clicking. I think we were missing this last split, and I think we all knew, and as a team, that we don't play Gen G or G2. I think we have a very likely chance to go top 4. And yeah, it feels really fucking good, to be honest. People I think it's fair, but people question are they really how good are they? Because we've only lost to G2 and Gen G, but you can't really say because we haven't played anyone else. So it's we have to prove our worth, and I think a 4-1 in that series. Obviously, I don't think Gen G probably would say they're playing their best, but still, I think we were the better team, just to be honest, and that just feels really fucking good.
Oh, no, you guys definitely look better.
We proved our worth. And right there, I dropped a little GG pussy as I shot that.
That was the one where I was like, it's wraps. Flitz, from an outsider perspective, what do you think of this series?
Yeah, so there's two things I want to highlight on. First, I think it's funny that Kaga mentioned how OG's been kind of destroying him in scrims, because one of the first things LJ said to me after they got this draw was like, it's like, dude, OG's been kind of killing us in scrims. I'm like, dude, you're not GenG. It's fine. Like, you're not playing GenG. You got this. And yeah, no, I completely agree too. Like, I mean, I think SSG in general, like, they've really stepped up. It was great to see Hoxer, like, he was playing a South American team. You know, he was going absolutely nuts. And you know, that goal was kind of,
I mean, there was a couple. I'm not gonna sit here, and there was a couple plays that kind of swung momentum even more, and I was like, dude, this is over, because you guys started playing good, and then something like this happens, and they're just like, oh fuck. Like, after the game, here, I'll show the own goal, and then I'll show the reaction of Calm.
Yeah, that was very unfortunate, but at the same time, I think we like had the more pressure, so it's not really like,
oh yeah,
like we were all like when that went in, we were like, oh, like, oh.
But
fuck.
you guys had pressure built up to put him in those shitty spots.
Yeah,
I see.
Yeah. But also, Kep, side note, says Kago earned Kep a few 50 bombs for that hat trick in game with 2+ goals, so I will be expecting my money for that cut. I appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah.
Is that $300 now?
Kep, I will be waiting, and at this point, I'm gonna fucking file a lawsuit if I don't get my money.
See, yeah, you're fucking me over, bro. You're fucking me over a little bit.
And one more thing I want to say about the series is Kago kind of mentioned how, like, even though they've only played like G2 and GenG, like, they still kind of had to like prove that worth of like, hey, like, you know, like, we are like, it's not just because we're playing them, like, we're actually like a top 4 team. And I completely agree with you guys. Like, although I don't think a bunch of people were expecting it, I think at least internally it seems like you kind of wanted to prove that to everyone else, that like we are, like, we just got, like, we're not getting GenG. We're gonna show you like what's gonna happen when we don't get the second or best team in NA. And you guys really fucking showed up, so I was really proud to see that, especially because, you know, rooting for the boys to do well. So congrats to you guys in SSG. This was a good series.
All right, let's go into for our what do you want to do? Predictions about tomorrow? Probably
yeah,
roll. All right, so I believe what series is first? We got
Snowmen.
Snowmen is first. So Snowmen are playing a rematch in the top 4. Their first time ever making top 4, and they beat GenG actually the previous 2 days ago when they play this match coming up tomorrow. So on Friday they played and GenG lost in game 5. A little bit shocked to see that. But how do you guys have this series going, Reed?
I don't know, bro, because like I think, again, Snowmen I think is on a roll, but it'd be criminal to bet against GenG. I think GenG's just been in this situation more. They're gonna be way more comfortable, way more confident, and there's a side factor of like they want their fucking revenge. They want their get back.
Yeah.
So they're gonna come out swinging. And Snowmen, if they win this, it's gonna be very impressive, because this is a huge like mark on like if they can actually be like cement themselves as a competitive team for a major. Obviously they put themselves in that position, but doing that to like winning against GenG would be huge. But it's GenG. I can't. Like, I think they're just, again, I always bet who I think the better team is, and I see GenG. I'll give it a 4-2 because shout out to Snowmen. You're gonna
give 2 games to Snowmen?
Yeah, I think they're way more capable than the other teams, maybe like G2 and GenG have been playing. So
yeah,
they're also very mechanical, which kind of bodes well. Like, if you're a not so mechanical team and you play someone like just that's better, it's going to be kind of rough, and you're kind of just going to sit there getting smacked. But Snowmen does like to control the ball, so they won't.
I mean, if they find their groove, they could take a couple games. You're saying?
Yeah. But GenG, I think GenG clearly takes this.
Yeah.
I mean, we've talked about before, like, the advantages and disadvantages of playing a team that you've already played before. Obviously, Snowmen played GenG in the Swiss, but now GenG can kind of look at it and be like, okay, obviously we were playing bad, but where did it really go wrong, right? If GenG really properly analyze that and figure out what's going on, they have a huge advantage here. But I think even if they don't do any replay at all, this is a new GenG that we're seeing, not the same one that we saw in Swiss. Snowmen have been playing great, but GenG is, at the very least, the second best team in North America. I would be very surprised if Snowmen get this win. I think they've been doing great. If they get the second win, holy shit, make that run. You're just winning the whole thing at that point. But I think GenG is going to win this one 4-1. I think Snowmen improved a lot. They still have, the run to make, but I think this is where the run's going to end up stopping.
I think, dude, I'm gonna be real. First of all, it is badass seeing new teams like even becoming possible of doing this. Like, I never would have thought, like, going into the season we would see, no offense, but I never would have thought Frosty, Scribble, and Reveal when they first formed they were gonna be in a top 4 where they already beat GenG. They're a 2 seed, and now they're playing GenG again after just making top 4. Because right now they're in a great spot to make the top 4 is an incredible start to make the major. You are in great pace. But that being said, I thought GenG did have, I don't want to take it away from Snowmen, but I do think GenG, like Jack didn't feel like he was playing to his standard. The fellas, they lost to OG right after that as well, and then they won in Series 5. That's unlikely for GenG. And I think they found their footing. Jack looked really good today. Chronic looked like a beast. First Killer looked good. Snowmen all look good, though. So like Reed said, they have the mechanical ability because all three of them are very good at solo plays. But that being said, GenG's got all this experience, and maybe Snowmen come into it and they have, hey, fuck it. No one expects us to win. We have nothing to lose. And they come out and they win, a game or two, and they're like, holy shit. But other than that, I would say probably realistically 4-1 GenG for me. Going into this next series, we got G2 versus Mr. Chicago's team. I guess I'm not going to ask you to be like, yes, we're going to win this, because that's just like, you probably don't want to do that type of shit. But I'm guessing how do you feel about G2, I guess I should say?
I mean, let's be real. Obviously, I'm gonna say it's not fair for me to predict. So obviously, I'm gonna say my team and be confident. But we did play them in Swiss, and they're very fucking good. But we actually played them very well, and I was happy with how we played them. I think that a couple different things go our way, and it's a more competitive series at least. But yeah, obviously, I mean, I don't think we have any pressure on us because no one's gonna really expect us to win, which is fair. G2 has the resume where they deserve that. But at the same time, I do think that we're going to be the most competitive team they probably face yet. And I'm not going to predict because that's stupid. But yeah, I mean, I'm very confident at this point. Whenever Champ Sundays come around, it's kind of like, bro, you made it this far. It's now it's just time to have fun, see what you can do.
Yeah.
And yeah, obviously a win is dope.
I mean, the goal for you is realistically what? You guys want to make top 4 because that's the best chance of making the major. Top 8, you're not satisfied with. It's the top 4 that you're like, okay, let's go. We made top 4.
Yeah. I mean, our goal is top 4 every time. That's the first goal. But after that, it's grand final and obviously winning.
Yeah.
So we achieved that first goal, which has kind of been the monkey on our back. Obviously, we haven't hit it yet. But now that we've hit it, I think we're just going to be free. And if obviously I think we can win. But if we don't, then it's we go back to the drawing board, we get better, and you come back for the next regional and you do the same shit and you get it right, So I'm very confident. Obviously I'm not, like I said, I'm not
you're good.
But yeah.
Flitz, how do you feel about G2 SSG?
Yeah, I mean, this is an interesting one because, as Chicago said, he did already play them in the Swiss, and they had a not too bad of a showing. It was close games. They won game 2, lost 3 and 4, both by 1 goal. Game 4 was an OT. They were right there with them. So heading into this one, I don't think this is going to be a wash by any means. But it's very conflicting because I don't know if I want to say G2 GenG final because that's just going to be every fucking NA final apparently. And I do have faith that SSG can win this. So I'm kind of on the fence on this. But as much as I hate to do it, I feel like I can't not go against G2. Why did someone put that?
I look like a sick fuck. I look like a sick fuck.
Freaks, man.
I don't
know who's making that on the fly, but
yeah, you got to show Kago the Ray J thing that someone made of us. That was awful. But yeah, back to what I was saying. Back to what I was saying.
Go ahead.
As much as I hate to do it, I do think G2 is going to win this one. I really hope I'm proven wrong. I'm tired of seeing the G2 GenG final. I would love to see SSG up there, both for Kago and LJ and Hoxer. Love those boys, but I have G2. Sorry, probably winning 4-2, 4-3 around there.
Yeah. I mean, I'm rooting for Reed. Right? But I'm not gonna say. I feel like any team that goes against G2, other than GenG, it's right now until it's proven otherwise, it's hard to favor. But Reed, I would have you guys. I'd probably have 4-2. I do think you guys are gonna take a couple games. But if you come out swinging, play very good, right? I'm rooting for you, Reed.
The world.
No, yeah, it's definitely winnable for SSG. That's the thing. I don't think it's a clean.
Oh, I'm confident of any of the teams that made top 8. SSG was the next closest team that I thought could keep up with these. Yeah,
I agree.
All right, fellas, how do you want to go about next? You want to do a couple questions with chat and then wrap it up?
Yeah, let's do a couple of viewer questions.
Fellas, remember we are going to do an episode tomorrow as well, talking about the final day. But yeah, guys, if you want to join, oh my God, you guys are all in Discord already.
I
But
think we gotta
chat,
bring in no.
Yeah, I was about to say.
you want to bring in
Ya?
We can bring in
I mean,
Ya.
Yeah,
bro, he's too generous, you know.
We have to put in Ya.
All right, chat. We're gonna bring in people. You can ask one question. We're only gonna do probably a couple. We're not gonna stay here for 30 minutes doing this. We're gonna bring in a couple people. We'll probably draw a line after like 7 questions.
One question and get out.
All right, here we go. There he is.
Yeah.
There he is.
The go.
Yeah, unmute for us. Come on, yeah.
Come on, ya.
Come on, man.
Yeah, please.
Stop trying to give subs and unmute.
Please.
Fuck. We might got an
AFK one. All right, we'll move him back and we'll pull him back.
Yeah, if you come back, just say something in chat.
Do not pick Zagrean. Please do not put Zagrean.
Yo, Buzzo knew ball last time about Kennesaw State, so I feel like we should give him another chance.
All right, he got picked though. I feel like we should do something.
All right, let's do Bear.
That's fair.
Hey, Bear, talk to us. Bear.
He's got a dog with hat profile picture. Are we in fucking 2019?
Oh my God. Did he just go back?
Yuz back.
Yuz back. Okay.
Just go. Just grab ya.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In. Motherfucker, yeah.
There he is.
Hey, what up, y'all? How's it going, player?
Hey.
What up?
Yo,
What's up?
First of all, we want to thank you for all the love, right? We know you
man.
support the fuck out of us.
Appreciate you.
We'd love to hear
Yeah. My 3 favorite.
Hell
Right
yeah.
there.
What do you got first, yeah?
I just wanted to be here to say hi.
Oh my
I
God.
got it.
Yeah, fair enough, man.
I fucking
Fair
do it.
enough.
I fucking do it. Hey, brother. Well, we appreciate you watching and supporting, man.
Yeah, appreciate you, bro.
Thank you, yeah. Love you, brother.
You're welcome.
All right,
Bye.
appreciate it. All right, who are we feeling to bring in? Chat, remember,
anyone
ask
else, I
what
get
question
mad, but
Rocket
that's-
League
yeah,
related
yeah.
or anything. All right,
Zagrean is one of the biggest trolls in my chat.
Yo, what up?
Man.
all right,
Let's bring in
Ba-
Zagrean, but Colin Bear's also back. He said something in your chat.
All
if
right,
you want to give it a try again.
all right, go ahead.
Oh God.
Zagrean, what up?
What's up, Zagrean? Bro, y'all gotta learn how to.
Motherfuckers, y'all just
Come
stay
on,
muted or
fellas.
what?
Yeah. Hold on.
Then
Yeah,
what
what's
up?
up, Zagrean?
How's it
What's up, Cargo?
What's up?
I have a pretty simple question.
This is gonna be so much.
Y'all think Luminosity is a top 4 team? The split?
Ooh, that's a
going? I
good
like that.
If I
Go ahead,
had
Phyllis.
to make a top 4 right now, I think G2, GenG, and then right now, obviously, still gonna have SSG. That 4th one's really tough, and I know we only have one regional to go off of, but I think starting off that Swiss with getting swept by like an open qual team, and then just I don't really feel like they performed that much better. I think right now I'd probably have them at 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do
agree
the
with that.
same. I think my 4th ranked team is probably still OG, to be honest.
Mhm.
OG's got credibility, so I can't put Snowmen above them. And I still think they're like very good. Just because you get a top 8 doesn't mean you're not a top 4 team. So yeah, I can't put LG there yet, but I still think I'd put OG 4 or LG 5 around there. But I wouldn't be surprised if any of those guys. flip-flop.
Based off what we've seen so far or this split, what we've seen off the first one, there was already some controversy whether they should have been in the major over SSG. But right now, I would say they're still on that border, but they're not guaranteed top 4 now. Not a bad question, though,
Yeah.
bro. Appreciate it.
That's a good question.
Yep.
Thank you, man.
Thanks for supporting, Zagrean.
Cap, you gotta disconnect them when he's done, bro.
All right,
You gotta kick their ass out of here, bro. We gotta be
Bear
quick.
back in. Bear,
Yeah. Yo,
talk to
Bear.
us. Come on.
Don't go for 2. Don't swing and miss.
Don't do it, man.
Come
Don't
on,
do
you
it.
motherfucker.
You gotta press the unmute button, brother.
Come
saw him
on,
in chat
man.
saying-
There
Yeah,
you go.
there we go.
There he is.
What's up, Bear?
Good. How are you?
Not
Good,
bad.
man. What you got for us?
Hello.
Yeah, what's up?
Yeah.
Hello.
Hello.
You fucking motherfucker.
I was
What?
I was wondering, do you think Energy should have kicked Frosty?
That's a good question.
Hello?
Here's the thing. I don't know if Energy, like, I don't know if Frosty is going to be prospering as much as he does without the team he has now. Like, to my knowledge, I think there was conflict in Energy with Frosty. I don't know if I'm like just making stuff up. So I don't know if we would have seen like just how he's really grown as a player in that environment. Like, there was a reason they kicked him before anything really happened, right? So I think, although Frosty's playing amazing, I think they probably made the right choice because I don't think it would have worked out.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I think there was issues on both sides with Energy and Frosty. I think Energy picked him up a little bit too quick and probably didn't do as much research as they would have liked. But at the same time, I think Energy was obviously trying to probably coach Frosty or try and help him out. And obviously, they were not really making any progress in becoming a better team, and as well as Frosty becoming more of a actual threes pro. So I think it was honestly, you could say it was the best for both because Energy, I think, is very happy where they're at now with Aqua. But at the same time, look at Frosty right now. He's with his boys and he's, maybe getting an org soon. Who knows with these results. So I'm sure maybe Energy might regret it a little bit, but at the end of the day, I think they would have done the same thing again.
Yeah, I mean, they played off-season tournaments with Frosty, and they had him sign for, like 3 months? And, I mean, I was saying this on stream. I don't think Frosty was the player that he is now. And I think him teaming with his boys and whatever they have going on was the route he needed, and it worked out. So, it is what it is, and it's the way it works sometimes. NRG's probably like, fuck, now this kid's making top 4. But at the end of the day, right, it probably wouldn't have happened the same way if he was on NRG. Maybe it would have, and it just took time. But, that's just the way it works sometimes. Appreciate the question, Bear. Go ahead, keep going.
One more question though.
No,
I feel like
no, only one, man. I'm sorry. If you
Fuck
want
out
to
here,
wait back
fuck
in
out
queue,
here.
you can. But
hey, Bear, appreciate the love though, man.
yeah, thank you. That was a good
all
question.
right.
You know,
Fuck, man,
I hate
felt
that
brutal.
too.
That felt brutal.
That first-
Probably we just kicked that kid in the fucking nuts.
That first
Bro,
question was good
that's
though.
life.
I will say
life.
that first question was good.
I mean,
I
chat,
felt
one
bad.
question because we don't want people asking like 3 and stuff.
All
That
right,
way we can
maybe
do-
like how many more? 2, 3 more?
Let's do. Well,
we
chat.
got a bit of time.
We'll do chat. We'll do 4 more. All right. That way.
Can I pick? Can I pick? Can
Go for it.
we give Hadson a drag? He's in my chat sometimes.
Hadson. Yeah. Here we
Hadson.
go.
Yo.
Oh, hello.
Oh my.
yeah,
What's
what
up?
up, what up,
We
what
hear. We hear you.
All right. If you three all dropped your teams and like team together,
Oh,
would
I
you
like
be
this.
making? Would you be making top 16? Yes, no.
Yes, we would.
If you locked
I
in.
think we'd get top 12s. I think we'd go 1 and
Top
3
12s.
splits. Yeah.
Top 12.
I think
Yeah.
Kep still got some in the tank. People don't realize that. And Kago's obviously a really good player. And I'd just be the glue for 2 superstars of like Kago and Kep. But I would truly let them prosper.
Kep's pretty bad. I mean,
Yeah, but he's still
Jordan
got a little
shit
bit
talk.
left,
How do I catch a straight no matter all this shit?
I mean, Kago Kep. I mean, be honest. Do you think you see us?
I think if we had
top 12s,
I
right?
think if we had the right thing, yeah, we'd make top 16.
yeah, I agree. Personally,
I think we could make a top 16.
I think we should take Kep and then we
Okay.
pick up me.
Don't
And
invite this
then
guy
we
back.
go top 4.
Don't invite that guy back.
Thank you. Welcome to the quick chat.
All right.
That dude just threw a jab at you, like for no
No,
reason.
multiple jabs. All right, I'm bringing
That
up
was
Flub.
insane.
I fuck with it.
Flub, what up, baby?
Whose picture's Bryce Harper? I don't know if I love that. But...
Oh,
Yo,
yeah.
what's up, guys?
How's it
Yo, what's
going?
up, Flub?
What do you got for us?
Hey, thanks for having me in. I just want to say, Kep, thanks for running with the neck thing, and playing along with it. It's
Yeah.
pretty mean, but
Hey,
you
man.
gotta do it for the content, man.
I mean, we're going out here fighting, bro. I mean, I had a guy today come in, and I had to ban him because he said he wanted to stroke my neck until it creamed. So we've had some sick sucks.
That's a pretty good band.
That's sick.
But hell yeah, man. No worries.
My question, Kep. How you guys feeling? You feeling for this next qual? I know Rizzo was a little upset, but
Well, I mean, so for those that don't know, Rizzo can't play next. We're playing with Squishy and Turbo. But I don't know, bro. I know Squishy doesn't want to make it. I mean, I don't really care to make it either. I'm just like wanting to play for fun, make a couple $100, have some content, and then do the watch party. But if we made it, I wouldn't be mad. I'd be like, oh, fuck, bro. This is going to be even better content. But dude, I think we could do, if we get the right bracket, we might make a little bit of a run. But I'm not going to sit here and say like I'm not expecting to make the main event. We're just having fun with it.
heck yeah, good stuff. Thanks. Keep
yeah.
up the good streams, man.
Thank you for the love, Flub. Have a good one, bro. I don't want to, I moved him back in because I think I just kicked your boy from my Discord.
Yeah, you did, bro.
How do you,
Dude.
oh, it's just disconnect.
Dude,
All right,
it's
my
just
bad. That's all me,
Bro.
fellas. All right,
Or
Kago, you got
or
the
just
next?
drag him back. But
Kago, who you
Kago,
want?
you're up.
Fuck, bro. There's a lot of people.
Yeah, actually, there's a lot.
Let's do Amuleta.
Yeah, like it.
Yo.
Amuleta, don't let me down.
Yo!
Okay, what
Yo,
you
what's
got? What
good?
you got?
Mom, I made it! Mom, I made it!
There you
Yeah,
go.
we hear you.
Welcome to the quick chat.
Alright, guys. So, I'm watching this Snowmen team, and I'm seeing a lot of resemblance to the old Queso team,
Okay.
Oh,
A
wow.
little body, Joyo. Do you think this might be the new, the Queso team? Top 2 major or something?
I see a lot of people making comparisons to Queso. I think the better comparison is Liquid. I don't think Queso. I think it's very hard to recreate what they did, and I think they're good, but I don't know. Giving them the Queso title is a little bit too much. I would give them the Liquid title before anything.
Okay, that's fair.
What do you guys think?
Yeah, I would agree with Queso was literally like 3 of the best players in the world, and Liquid took a little bit more time to get there. Like their first season, they weren't like they were very good, but they weren't like considered best in the world. And now a lot of people can consider a lot of those players like a Tau best in the world. So yeah, I agree with Flitz. More Liquid, not so much Queso.
Yeah, I'm not. I don't think they'll be like that Queso team where they go on and win majors and shit like that. But I mean, I definitely think the ceiling is high from what we've seen so far. But I don't want to gas it too much, because these fucking 3 kids. I don't know if you've ever heard their stream. These kids talk as if they've won 8 world championships already.
Yeah.
So let's keep them humble a little bit, right?
Yeah.
Not a bad question though, bro. Appreciate it, man.
Okay, wait. If they make top 2 at major, you guys owe me $300.
Oh
No,
my
that's not
god,
how that
bro.
works.
Guys,
That's
get the
not how that
fuck
works.
out of here with this little shit. These extra comments are just never good. All right, let's do 2 more. 2 more total. Guys, remember, we can't pick everybody, so if you are joining this, we appreciate it.
Maybe
Go ahead.
Kev
But
pick
we might-
one, and then Chat pick one. Chat pick somebody.
It's not a bad idea.
We can try it.
Let's just say fuck it.
Grab
Let's go with
grab
this guy,
yours.
right? Let's go with Rogue. Rogue, what up? Rogue,
Yo.
Hello.
how we doing?
No.
All right. Do you think the Snowmen make the major?
That's a good question, actually. I was thinking about that. I've been going first every time. I want to hear.
I mean, I think that's pre-firing it a little bit, because I think they're the type of team where they could make this top 4 and then get a bad draws or not the best day, and then they don't make top 8 again. But then they make it the next, and then that could kill it. You have to be very consistent. I don't know if they're quite at that level where they're consistent yet, where they can actually, where I'm sold into them making it. But bro, from what I've seen so far, they're like I said, next season could be their fucking huge season. But I think right now I would not say I'm sold they make the major yet.
I'm gonna kind of disagree with you, because I agree. I don't think they're gonna make the major, but I think they're gonna do well in the second one. I think they're gonna get at least a top 8, and I think they're gonna put themselves in a really realistic position to make that major. I think they're gonna continue to keep climbing and doing well. But once again, I think I'm gonna have them falling like short by like a point or 2. I think they'll finish like 5th or 6th.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I think they've done a perfect job putting themselves in major contention and leading the way. But I think experience is huge, because when they start feeling the fucking pressure, especially maybe 3rd regional, where it's like, okay, it's on us to qualify. That's where a team like LG, OG, who knows who else is in the running, but like a lot of teams like that have been in those situations can come back and take their spot. So I think it's very well done of them to put themselves in front of the pack of the other teams, but I don't have them either.
All right.
What the fuck is that?
I have no idea. Rogue, appreciate the question, boss, and thanks for watching, man.
Coming on.
All right. Thank you.
Have a good one, brother. All right.
He was good.
Last one, chat. We're gonna let you rip it. Who y'all want? Of the names you see, who y'all like?
Yeah, they got to be in the call already. Cam's not in the call.
Buzzo?
We already did. I feel like we should do someone new.
Yeah, let's do someone new. We've already brought him in, guys.
Everyone's saying Cam, and Cam's not even in the
Evade.
call.
Evade? All right, let's do
Yeah,
Evade.
evades.
It's a turbo.
Evade, how we feeling?
Yo,
What up?
Yo,
that's
welcome.
2 for 2 now. Holy, I got a bad mic. Hold on.
What are you thinking?
Does Mist or Garrett retire or move teams if they keep up this performance?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
I have my own take on this, but I want Kaga to go.
I don't think so. I mean, I don't think Miss is retired. I think the question's more so Garrett, because Garrett's been doing this a fucking long time, and it's a mental toll. Like, Garrett's been doing it for like, I don't even know, 9 years or something, being a pro, which is insanely mentally taxing. But at the same time, Garrett's like passion is probably close to anybody's at the top.
Yeah.
So I don't think he wants to retire. I don't see him the need for retiring. But at the same time, I think it's kind of probably gonna be one of those situations where it might be best if they split off, or if Garrett leaves, whatever the situation is, because it's something new, refreshing if he still wants to keep playing. So I don't see them leaving. Oh, Kev, can you get this off my screen, man?
Yeah, I mean, you're hitting the vape,
Yeah,
kid.
Bro,
Hop off my shit.
Bro, come on, that's
All
your
right.
vape.
My bad,
But,
my bad.
yeah, I don't see them. It would be surprising to see them stick together after an off season, but I don't see either of them retiring now.
Personally think that NRG should completely rebuild. I don't know how I feel about retiring. I think Mist will definitely not retire. I think Garrett has a chance of retiring, but I think NRG has had Garrett for so long, and they're not quite getting to where they need to be, because I know they want to make those majors, but they're not quite able to do it yet. I think they should completely rebuild or consider picking up a new roster, and I think that's a very possible outcome that we could see heading into this next season. But in terms of just retiring, I don't think either of them will. I think there's a chance Garrett does, but I think NRG should just kind of like blow up ship and rebuild.
All right, so where I'm at right now, let's say they don't make any top 8s and their season ends like this. I think, is it possible they maybe keep one of? I don't think they would keep both Garrett and Mist again. Now I don't know any fucking information, but I'm saying also I could see a world where this is a crazy one, but I think you're gonna start seeing more players go down the CRL route, where they get maybe a scholarship. I mean, I don't know what the hell's up with CRL these days. I don't see any announcement, but maybe we see players go down the CRL route and keep competing kind of on the side for fun. But yeah, I don't know, man. I don't think Garrett will retire. I think he's got too much passion. Mist has too much in the tank as well left, in my opinion. So I think I don't think we'll see a retirement. But maybe, like Flitz said, maybe a different roster. But that's if they don't turn around and things just go terrible.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Evade, for stopping in and watching the quick chat, brother.
Thank you for the streams.
Hell yeah. Have a good one, bro.
What a good guy.
Chat. That is going to do it for the questions. We don't want to do this the whole time. We're trying to make these episodes an hour long max. That way we don't have like hour 30-minute shows and shit. Just a quick thing, sum up the day, how we feeling, all of that. So if you guys are in here and you did want to get in, we're going to keep doing these. Tomorrow we're going to have another version of the quick chat where we talk about the final Champ Sunday day. But hey, man, check out Chicago and Flitz. If you guys want to go in the title, hover over their name, drop them a follow. You guys are probably watching their stream right now. Or if you go through, you're going through Twitch one day, click on their streams, man. I know Chicago streams probably 5-6 days a week, usually. Flitz streams, same thing, streaming every afternoon, usually mornings. So if you guys want to check them out, go ahead and drop them a follow. But hey, fellas, I am going to sign out. I'll disconnect your cameras and shit. But that was a pretty good episode of the quick chat. And Reed, Flitz, any signing off words?
Appreciate it. Always fun. Shout out to everyone in the chat. Shout out to Kep and Flitz. It's always fun just shooting the shit, talking ball, little side thing. But yeah, it's always fun. And we'll see y'all tomorrow. Yeah,
it's always great to be out here. Make sure to root for Chicago tomorrow.
Yep.
You know, let's go SSG.
Appreciate it.
Welcome to the quick chat.
Oh! Whoa! You guys gotta watch this one back. Park goes up, gets a double into a reset.